What's up, Groot?
What's
up, Groot? Oh, now he's alive.
Ich bin Groot.
You're so cute.
I am Groot.
Isn't he cute? He's so cute.
He is very cute.
Groot, I love to dance.
Oh, yeah. Interactive Groot.
Yeah. The best part.
Groot dances like nobody's watching.
He dances like me, like no one should be watching.
Hands up, hands down. Repeat.
Okay, is this it? Okay, is this it? The best part about Groot is that if you leave him there, standing there alone, and don't talk to him, he starts yelling at you. Like, hey. Of course, his version is, I am Groot.
Pay attention to me.
So we're going to turn him off.
Pulls out his phone and just like,
See, he gets all upset. I got this biscuit tea.
this what?
This Yorkshire
Biscuit
tea.
tea?
It's biscuit multi.
Oh, okay.
It sounds terrible, actually.
Tea for biscuit eating.
Anything. See, here's the thing the British don't understand about Americans is that multi just doesn't sound like a good word. Multi. It's too close to moldy, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
No one wants anything malty. That's why no one drinks malts anymore. You don't call them malted balls, multi balls anymore. You call them whoppers.
These balls are malty.
And so anyway, this is malty biscuit brew.
Malty biscuit.
Malty. Yeah. M-A-L, not like as in like many. Malty.
Malty biscuit.
M-A-L-T-Y. Malty biscuit brew. Tastes
malted, but malty is
malty.
weird.
I know, right? But malted, I think, implies that something was actually done to it. Like, this has been malted.
Well, they got malty somehow.
Not to be confused with molted.
Yeah, that's
So
malty penguin.
malty biscuit brew tastes like tea and biscuits. And I feel like first of all, it's delicious. I will tell you that. Okay. So it's delicious.
Now, I'm still a little confused. Is that a biscuit or is that a tea?
It's a tea. It's Yorkshire tea. You can tell because it says Yorkshire tea, and it's malty biscuit
Yorkshire,
brew.
I think they say.
And it tastes like tea and biscuits.
So it tastes like somebody left a biscuit in your tea.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And
A biscuit, of course, being a French fry.
no.
Just kidding.
What is wrong with you? What's wrong?
It's because they call things weird things over there.
A biscuit's like a
and
cookie.
then a chip
but
is actually a tire.
You can't.
And then,
you can't. No, a chip is a fry.
And a crisp is like the front, the trunk of the car.
God,
I don't remember which one.
Confused. You hurt my head. You hurt my head. So I'm going to read the description on the back. It says, a proper biscuit brew. I almost said malicious. Here's a miraculous tea that tastes like biscuits because when these two flavors combine, the resulting deliciousness creates a wave of happiness big enough to power an entire human being. It's a magical mug of biscuity goodness that doesn't get crumbs on your jumper. They had me up until jumper. Like, I'm with them. I'm like, oh, this is lovely. This is poetic. And then jumper. No, I don't. Am I even supposed to be drinking? Like, is this some kind of like sissy tea?
I don't know. Maybe they have manly jumpers in Britain. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I'm probably not.
Manly jumpers?
I don't know.
And some of our British listeners would have to.
I don't know, but it is delicious tea.
On that one.
I feel like it's a little redundant because it tastes like tea and biscuits. Of course, it tastes like tea. I mean, you don't get props for that.
True.
If you're a tea company, and you're like, oh, hey, it tastes like
This is
tea.
not a selling point.
And biscuits. Like, well, wow. Like, how'd you get the tea taste in there?
I would hope, at least for half of this, that this would be the case.
It's like, can you imagine if Hershey's or Nestle,
like Coke.
Hershey's or Nestle make their chocolate milk and they put on there, tastes like milk and chocolate.
And chocolate, right?
Wow. Coca-Cola. It tastes like soda water and sugar. Wow.
We got flavored popcorn, and it's cinnamon and popcorn. Yeah, that's not one of the flavors.
Cheddar popcorn.
That's just the
cheddar
thing.
popcorn, right? Cheddar popcorn tastes like popcorn and cheddar.
And cheddar. So we're...
I feel
Before we
bad.
did
I'm making
anything
fun of
to
this
it,
tea.
it was
It's actually
halfway there.
delicious. I shouldn't be. I mean, I feel like I don't mean to.
What was it? Maliciously? Malicious
I don't mean to create an international incident about tea, but this is delicious. And this, I actually was turned on to this by our British friends.
Oh, very cool.
At the,
And were you able to find it here? Is that did you have
Amazon.
to get it shipped
Amazon. So,
okay, great.
Yeah, because I was being schooled in the difference. So they were trying to school me in the difference between biscuits and cookies.
Oh, there is a difference.
I
mean, I know there is to us,
buddy. How can you not know that?
By being...
I mean, come on.
Well, see, half of my heritage is Scottish, and I think that they're like, if it's not alcohol, then it's biscuits. And it's all biscuits after that.
I feel like we have to. Are we still in the state of mourning?
Oh, over
Sean Connery. Did that happen?
Sir Sean.
It happened in the past week, right?
Yeah.
Sean Connery and Alex Trebek in 1 week.
Yeah. Two people connected through a SNL sketch.
Were they? They
were. Celebrity Jeopardy. Yeah.
You're right.
You shall get to the back.
That was a really, that's really, anyway, that's really good. Anyway.
That was really fun.
So I can't, my eyes are coming back. I feel like my vision's coming back.
Oh, good. Did you look at something like maybe 10 feet away and it's going to taking longer than 20 seconds to get you back?
Well, I'm pretending that the wall behind me and the image in front of me is I think that should work, right?
Yeah. I should switch it to like a big landscape or something, or it's like a mountain.
That'd be
back
great.
there
Could you do that? Could you have like an elk?
I don't have one
background?
on deck right now. I do have the science station from the Enterprise on.
No, something relaxing, like a meadow.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
I should find a good meadow.
You should find a good. That feels like the kind
why
of
do you have
insult.
the meadow? Jason has this eye thing.
That feels like a British insult there, right? Like that's how the British would insult one another. They, you know
Go
what?
find a meadow.
Go find a meadow. Doozy.
Ooh. Scallywag. I don't know.
Scallywag.
Just trying to come up with a British insult that
we should just probably
doesn't
not
bring Patrick.
No, you probably just should not. So how was your weekend? Did you have a nice weekend?
It was good. Yeah, it's good. Got out a little bit to the old Disney Springs.
You did?
Yeah.
How was that?
Around, saw some Christmas decorations and whatnot. And it was good. We ate at the Fonterra Cocina.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
Why? Did you not get the memo?
Oh, is there a problem with Fonterra?
I mean, it doesn't have like. I'm sure it's fine. I don't want to get in trouble. Let's just say I've never been there.
Okay, well, so
and it's not on the list.
It's not. Okay, well, it's pretty good.
You know, the problem is every time I leave Morimoto Asia, or Wine Bar George, or the Hangar Bar, or Raglan Road, and I walk back towards the Lime parking garage, which is the correct parking garage.
That's
for anybody and anyone who tells you differently is just dead wrong.
Handing you that orange horse crap.
There's this belief among locals that the orange, I mean, it's not a belief, it's actually true, but people will say it they'll say it proudly. It's like they'll say it proudly as if they're saying, well, I don't want to say, no, I was going to say as if they're from insert town here that no one wants to be from, but I'm not going to offend anybody tonight. I'm going to do my best, except for Fucina, whatever that place is called. Could you say it again?
Fonterra Cocina.
That place, yeah. So the locals here they'll say like, oh, the orange garage, like that's the locals' garage, and I'm like, exactly. That's why you don't want to park
wanna
there.
be over there.
And they say, I won't park in line because people don't know what they're doing. They're all tourists. And I'm like, it's the most convenient garage, first of all, unless you're going to Cirque, and Cirque isn't open.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to the movie theater, and who does that there? And anyway, I park in line because it's the most convenient to the things that I want to get to, usually, which is like Polite Pig, which is right there.
Right. And the Ron John.
and the two-story Ron John, right? But we all know I can't get past the first 20 feet anyway.
You only use about 20 feet of that, Ron John.
Right. I think the rest is just a mirage. It's like just smoke and mirrors, people. Smoke
It's
and
actually
mirrors.
a green screen. If you try to go out the back there and get a shirt, you'd smack your face on them.
Yeah. If you have actually ever purchased anything from deep in the bowels of Ron John or upstairs, I'd like to hear from you because I don't believe you.
Deep in the Bowels of Ron John is my favorite Tom Waits album.
Tom Waits album that never was but should have been.
Oh, get back there and get me a tank top.
Okay.
That's
when
Tom Waits impression.
when I'm leaving one of those other restaurants and I walk past the restaurant that we will not be named by me, there's always this weird like oniony smell, or I don't know what it is. Garlic,
with onions in there.
I don't know. It's just too intense, too much.
It's South American food.
I don't think. Is it South American? Because I dig
like
South
tacos
American.
and
I don't
stuff
think
in
it's
there.
South American food.
Well,
And you
I mean,
can't say
in as
South
much
American
as
food. That's like
anything
saying
is-
it's European food.
Well, it's I don't know if it's necessarily Mexican or if it's more sort of broadly a genre. It's either way. It's not going to be authentic. It's not as though any of these places that purport to be from a specific country are really authentic representations of the food from that country. I mean, it is Mexican, I suppose, in as much as a usual goofy white guy from Central Florida goes, yes, Mexican food.
But Mexico is part of North America, right?
That's true. That's
Okay.
true.
Well,
yeah. That's a good
we have
point.
a whole free trade agreement. At
Point
least we
well
did.
taken.
I mean, so then there's Central America, which is like no man's land. Like if you watch Long Way Up, have you watched Long Way Up, by the way?
No, I have not. Long Way Up.
What is taking you so long?
What is Long Way Up?
I thought you would never ask. Long Way Up. It's Ewan McGregor and his buddy, whose name I should remember, but I don't.
Oh, and they're on the motorcycles.
Yes, and they've done.
I've heard of this.
The first one they
I have
ever
not
did was
seen
Long
it.
Way Round, where they went. They rode their motorcycles around the world, and then they did Long Way Down, where they drove from like the top of Scotland. You would love this. The top of Scotland all the way down to Cape Town, South Africa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And so this is Long Way Up, but this is like it must be 13 years later or so. I mean, since the last one, and they're driving from the tip of South America, the bottom tip, all the way up to basically back to LA. But they get
Is that Cape Horn down there? Is that what that is?
well, it's not the town that
I'm
they were in.
geographically-
No, you're thinking of the Horn of Africa.
No,
Aren't you?
there's Cape Horn. I'm completely.
Are you just making things up
ignorant
now?
Right now, I'm not making things up.
Well, we don't have to guess. We can actually know these things. It's I'll tell you where they were when they started. They were down. It was cold.
It was cold. So
Well, they
clearly.
flew into this town I think called Ushuaia, I think, and then they from there they drove south because they actually were legit like starting from the bottom. They actually went in the
they're
wrong
here.
direction, and then turned around and went north again. But I don't. You'll have to watch. It's really good. It's really good. Anyway, they get to this area. No spoiler alerts here or anything, but they get to this area. They have survived so far. I don't think they perish
So
anywhere.
this is current. They're out
Well,
there
no,
right now?
because no one's wearing masks. That's how you know. That's how you know
good point.
anything you're watching
Yeah.
on TV that's like documentary or really reality. If no one's
the
wearing
timeline.
masks, then I call BS. Like you're not. We all know. We all know this is anyway. So
Whatever
they
will
get,
happen. Well, I can look at
get-
Wikipedia and figure that one out.
they get to this one area. I guess it's in Colombia, I mean, they even go into like the town of Medellin, which is like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just afraid to say the word right now.
Somebody's lurking outside my house.
I mean, it's, right? I mean, that's how we've been trained and conditioned. And so they, at some point between there and then Panama, there's this thing called the Darien Strait. And there's a Darien National Park in there too. But there's the Darien Strait, which basically has no roads, like legit, like not only no, I guess there's like probably like tiny little like
Paths or something.
right. But it's so dangerous. You don't go through there.
Like because of people or animals or
Probably
the
everything.
terrain?
Everything. Like
It's just death.
it's, you don't go through there.
Death
right.
National Park.
And you drive. I mean, you fly. You either fly or boat. So they actually have to skip over that part. They do fly the motorcycles. The motorcycles are electric. Harley Davidson, God bless them, builds them electric motors. They had like a prototype motorcycle, electric motorcycle, and they built them. They like to spec these electric motorcycles and these trucks that they have. And I can't remember the name of the company. I'm sorry. This company makes electric trucks, and it's like the first time they've ever made these, and they use those too.
Rivian?
Yes, Rivian. How do you know?
Rivian.
You've watched this by accident and you didn't realize it?
No, I just knew that they're the sort of other Tesla right now.
Yeah.
And those are both kind of vying for the world's kind of commercial fleet electric vehicles.
These guys are amazing. They built these trucks, these like pickup trucks that are all electric. They had never built them before. The first one on the road is like one that they're driving for this show.
Wow.
It's incredible. So the first like 4 or 5 episodes, most of the stress, like you're watching, you're not stressed out about how cold it is. You're not stressed out about them like driving in the snow on a motorcycle. You're stressed out about like, where are they going to recharge?
Right.
How are they going to recharge? I mean, I'm anxious for them. Like, dude, like, I know how I am when I get down to a quarter of a tank, I start to freak out. Right. And that's just driving between here and Disney World. Like, I can't imagine being in the middle of South America in the cold on a motorcycle that's going to stop.
An experimental electric truck.
Like, I mean, they practically have to like hug them and warm them up. Like it's you got to watch this. I mean, you'll get such a kick out of it.
Check it out.
And the other ones are good too. The other ones are good too.
Yeah. This one you feel like is the sort of the top of the 3. Have they done
different.
the electric thing on the other ones too, or just this one?
It's just this one.
Just this one.
I mean, it's his thing now. It's Ewan McGregor's thing. And
I find it difficult to believe that Harley Davidson created a motorcycle that wasn't like 700 decibels and sounds like it's about to die.
This ain't your grandpa's Harley Davidson, I can tell you that. But they're committed. These people, like both Harley and Rivian. I don't know. They are like committed. I mean, they have a team of people. Like they have engineers who will work on problems from afar and they'll fly them in if they have to. I mean, they were like committed to making this thing work. And I think everybody wanted a proof of concept.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm only
and
about
that's a hell
halfway
of a
through.
Test. I mean,
it's incredible.
Hey, as a
incredible.
test, we're going to drive it from Cape Horn, by the way, is the southern tip of Chile. So,
okay,
and then
congratulations.
They're driving it all the way. And what's their end? Are they going to like
LA.
Alaska or
LA.
are they
LA. That's where they live. I mean, that's where Ewan McGregor lives. He's going home.
Yeah, but that's not all the way up. I thought that was the name of the thing.
It's the long way up. It's mostly South America plus.
And you're stopping at LA?
Okay, it's South America plus Central America plus what Marcus considers South America.
Yeah, the other South. It's North South America.
Plus, when I was in Chile, in Santiago, not on an electric motorcycle. I was having this conversation with another MBA student. It was like this kind of exchange program, but they didn't really exchange. We just went there. Anyway, I had this conversation. I used the phrase South America in the sentence. And she looked at me like I had just said something she had never heard of in her life.
Yeah.
And as if I would look at you and say, well, like how you have purple hair, and you would have looked at me
I don't think we have the same
again?
definition for that word.
Right.
Yeah.
She says, I said, what? She says, there's no South America. Now, this to me is like standing at the North Pole in Santa's village and a little elf coming up and saying, there's no Santa Claus.
Right. You aren't where you are.
Right? There's no snow. And I said to her, wait,
There's no spoon.
what do you, like, we are in South America. She's like, there's no, at least to her. Now, maybe she was representing her country in an incorrect fashion, but the way she was explaining it to me was that there is no North America and South America there. It is just America.
Well, I mean, okay, but there's a north half and a south half. So
If, like I'm, then it
there's
made
a
me
North
question,
Florida, for the love of God.
Like it's like from a continent standpoint, and then I started thinking, like, well, wait a second. I thought, well, maybe it's just a political distinction, but then I looked it up. Like, no, she's wrong. Like, it's a completely different continental plate. Like, it's just
right.
It is it's like geologically
And if
incorrect.
and if anything, we kind of solidified the fact by digging the Panama Canal. We cut them in two.
You
Literally.
think it's the same, do you? Well, let me get my shovel.
I'm tired of this argument. We're going to settle this once and for all. Chop.
Oh, it's just
Now
cool.
a little bit of Panama I got left over in the South.
when they're
South
in the
America.
when they're driving past the Panama Canal. There's one of the Disney, I don't know if it was Disney Fantasy or Disney Wonder, was like coming through the locks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Cool.
played the do 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 do. It was really cool. It's not a Disney Plus show. It was really like, oh, look at this.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's on Apple. It's on Apple TV, Apple Plus,
Is
or
it
whatever they call
Apple
it.
Plus. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Everything's
And the
plussed.
one that I don't have.
How do you not have Apple Plus?
Well, I got Apple, because I got all the rest of them.
You get it for free practically if you have like a telephone. You get a like
I do have a
Verizon or
telephone.
AT&T.
Maybe I should look into that. I don't know. I do have Verizon, yeah.
You should get it for free.
Okay.
What's wrong with you? If you
I
just
believe I
walk
should
on
get it for
two
free no matter
legs,
what.
Or at one
That's-
point in your life walked on two legs, or
Is that
know
in the-
somebody who walked on two
literal?
legs, you will get it for free.
That's in the marketing material.
I don't know. I'm just trying to back my way out of an insensitive comment.
But,
the
yeah, there's
kind
a
of
couple
day
of things
I've
on there actually that look pretty good. What was the other one that was showing up so much? Oh, I don't remember now.
Well, it could be an Apple event
There was
because
a thing too.
they're having another one tomorrow, apparently.
They having one tomorrow?
Yeah, they're having
Oh,
it
yeah, it'd be for the.
for the Macs or
which
something.
one
The Mac-
happens?
Like I remember,
Oh, they do
didn't
the
they used to
Macs.
just do it all in one day? Like it was just a big thing.
Well,
They
it's
would-
been where at WWDC has been like the
That's-
software.
well,
and then there's
yeah. I mean,
there
well,
was
it was
a
a developers conference,
September thing that showed the new hardware that software goes with. you
right?
know.
They didn't
But now
separate the
they're doing
hardware
a
out
bunch
though.
different. No, not usually.
This is weird. I'm like,
It's been the last couple
I
of years.
can't live like
they've
this.
done that. And it's weird that that it's not taking place in the middle of a theater with a bunch of Apple employees cheering.
I kind of like the way they do it now though, because the production value is much better.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're in that fake house. It's like, oh, I want to live in that house, except that it's missing half of its walls. But other than that, it looks nice.
Yeah.
It's straight.
Ain't got no ceiling.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have a ceiling.
Oh, it's a tangential Fresh Prince of
It has a
Bel-Air.
ceiling somewhere because the studio's not outside.
True. Yeah. Eventually the room stops.
It's just really high ceilings. If you like really high ceilings, you'll love this.
You'll love Yosemite National Park.
I don't know why I'm still now I'm just looking at the map. I'm just looking at the map now on my phone. Here's the problem with, okay, it's amazing we have these maps, right? We can be anywhere in the world, almost just about anywhere in the world we want, digitally, virtually, right? And I can like spin it around. If I use, I'm just using Google Maps right now, but if I use the Google Earth thing, then you can like spin the globe around and do all sorts of fun stuff, right? Mm-hmm. However, the problem with Google Maps is that you can't ever see as much as you really want to see at one time.
How do you mean?
Okay, I mean,
Because you can zoom out.
you can zoom out, but then you lose detail. So
I
the
see.
beauty of those giant wall maps that we grew up with
Right.
was that you could say, I want to see. I mean, I remember the political maps that I used to work with. They would be like just one cross section of the city,
Right.
like maybe say 6 or 7 or 8 neighborhoods, and it would be the size of the wall.
Yeah.
And so you could see the streets, like
See Bob's
everything.
house.
It was like, yeah, I mean, it was perfect. And planning departments use them all the time, right? They need them at that scale so they can really see the details of particular streets and properties and so forth. And if you went to the library, at least my library, they had maps in the back, like hanging, like you would buy, you go to Home Depot and you buy rugs, or if you've just thought about it at some point, you've seen people buying rugs, like they
got that flippy gallery thing. Yeah.
Like you hope some small child's not in the middle of them.
Kind of like the way you used to buy posters from Walmart in like the 80s. They had that same kind of flippy book thing of posters.
Or
do I want the Metallica or do I want the
special
Return of the
posters.
Jedi?
The special posters at oh my god, what's the name of it? At the mall, the Naughty Store.
The Magic Eye. Oh, Spencer's.
Spencer's, thank you.
The Naughty Store.
That place. Anyway, now I have the images in my head of 80s actresses. Terrible. All right, so they would have these giant wall maps at the library that you could flip through and then see them, and I loved it because you could see you would look at, oh, there's my neighborhood, there's my street. You could see this detail, but the scale was so large that you could traverse large areas at large scale. A road map. Kids nowadays, they have no idea. You could pull a map out and hold in your hands the entire country. Now, I realize you say, yes, I can pull up the entire country on Google Maps right now, right? And I'm telling you, I'm looking at it. You can barely fit the United States across your screen. And you certainly can't decide on which interstate you're going to use at a glance.
Right.
By looking at Google Maps. And that was the beauty of pull the map out. And then remember you would fold it back upon itself.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
To oh yeah. And then you would, I have to fold it. I loved it. When I had my motorcycle, I would, I have a sleeve that I stuck the map into, that I had affixed to the tank.
Yeah.
On the front, you would just
map holster.
Stick it in that sleeve. It was great. Anyway, now I sound like an old person. Now I don't just look like an old person.
But
I sound like an old
cool
person.
Old people, because you're talking about what you used to do on your motorcycle, and I think that's everybody's
and then people.
Jason used to be cool.
And then they meet me and they're like, "Okay, really? You drove a motorcycle? Really? I don't think so. You sure it wasn't a moped? I have one of those too. That's like pre-moped. That's pre-motorcycle. You get a moped, it's like pre-motorcycle. Yeah. I never had a cool, a real motorcycle though. I had.
Oh yeah.
It was a Honda.
What was your hog?
It was a Honda. It was like an Enduro. I think they called them Enduros, which was like a hybrid between, not hybrid as an engine. No, It was like hybrid as in. It was a road. It was a street bike, but also you could take it off road.
You do a dirt bike kind of.
I never did, but because I brake easy.
Most people with off road things never.
I mean, because it's not really made for off road, so you can't. I mean, at best you're
just made to look like that.
At best, you're maybe driving through the meadow.
It's nice and tranquil.
Yeah.
But it's no whatever that park is in Panama.
No, you're not going across the Darien.
Not going there.
Pass or Strait or whatever that's called. Darien Danger. Now I feel bad for anybody named Darien.
They have a really badass, dangerous park named after him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was my park.
Have you been to South America? Have we talked about this?
I have not been to South America.
I had zero interest in going. I was really disappointed the year that we were, my MBA program, in your second year, between your second and third year, you went on an international trip to a developing nation. Oh, and cool. the 2 years before us, they went to China. And I wanted to go to China. Like,
Yeah.
when else am I ever going to go to China? Right. I had no interest in going to South America. I mean, like zero. And then they announced, oh, we're going to go to South America. We're going to go to Santiago, Chile, and some other parts in Chile. And then we're going to go fly across the Andes in what is winter for them. Doesn't sound like a great idea if you've seen the movie Alive. And we're going to then fly across the Andes and go to Buenos Aires.
There's soccer teams everywhere.
And
All over these mountains. Look at them.
there may have been jokes in my class about, among some people, not me, of course, but like deciding who we were going to eat first. But I digress. I got to tell you, having gone there, I am so happy we went to South America. Like,
Awesome.
I mean, it was fantastic. It was the best.
Very cool.
That's where I learned to love empanadas.
Ooh.
And I learned to love pisco sours. And I learned how to eat an entire cow in one seating.
Now
Like-
that I can see would be useful information.
Oh, the steakhouses in Buenos Aires. Oh my Lord. Incredible.
Good
Incredible.
stuff, huh?
Great stuff. Great people, beautiful cities, weird politics, strange economies. But I mean, you know, dictatorships will do that to you.
Well, you know,
There's kind of a cold
you
blanket
take
on,
the good, you take the bad.
and you get
Empanadas, though, right?
get some fantastic empanadas. I don't know. I think, I would go back to certain parts, and having seen Long Way Up, definitely there's areas I'd like to go back to. Mexico, I have zero interest.
Yeah. Now, I've been to Mexico.
I've been to coastal
Here and
Mexico. They don't count that as going to Mexico.
Yeah, I guess not really, but
I mean,
hey, technically, I've been there.
it's like, and the way you've been to
Check.
Detroit by going through the airport, like, yeah,
Right. In that regard,
Dallas,
I have been
Fort
to Hawaii. So I went through Honolulu Airport on the way down to New Zealand.
Wait, you flew into Hawaii to connect, and you didn't stop. You didn't like stop over there. You didn't spend.
It was like 3 a.m, and we were like in a couple of hours we were getting on an international flight to New Zealand. So there was like literally no time.
You say, look, while we're here, we're going to spend a day or two in Hawaii.
I was also at this time, I was 16 years old. So my ability to control our itinerary was limited.
Are you running from the law?
No, I am mooching off of my parents.
Oh, okay. Well, you couldn't convince them. You seem you have such strong powers of persuasion. I don't understand.
I
how
do
you,
now. Back then, I was kind of this quiet little nervous milquetoast guy.
with purple hair.
Yeah, clearly. The South American version of purple hair.
Yeah, you're the only Danish kid with purple hair. I'm just gonna firm up that rumor.
Please do. Yeah.
Your Scandinavian roots.
Yeah. And we've proven that it's 3.6%.
That's right.
But yeah, our master's in information systems, which was through our business school. It wasn't the computer science department. It was the business version of that. So we had a similar program that you're talking about, and I went to South Korea on that one. And we got to see like Suwon and all these, like where Samsung is, like the town that Samsung like built. And it's also pretty cool stuff. And I tell you, man, that's if you're unaware of Korean food as its own thing, if you kind of see Asian food as a sort of homogenous thing, then Korean food is very much a departure from that.
Yeah, it's a discovery process. I think anyone who's lived in a major city,
and it's so good.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful too, though. Street food is it's a little sketchy.
Well, it's sketchy in Boston too. I mean, but the
Not really.
you can get some crazy stuff there, but like a bulgogi is a sort of Korean barbecue. It's spicy, and you're at the table, and there's a grill in your table, and they bring out the stuff. And the great thing about any meal in Korea, something I didn't find true in Japan, so it's not an overall Asian thing. It seems to be more or less localized to Korea, and that is that every meal comes with like 35 side dishes. And even some of the
exactly 35.
Well, yeah. it's a very interesting word.
If you get 34, you're insulted.
Significance. No, it's like, yeah, and that's what you have to say. But no, like even our little our like handlers, the people that kind of herded us around to make sure that we didn't embarrass ourselves too much. I would be like, okay, this one is good. What is this? And they would like look at it and take it with the chopsticks and like, I'm not entirely sure what that one is. I was like, so you don't know either. But yeah.
Maybe they just didn't want to tell you.
Yeah, it could be.
Like,
but it was yummy. So
you like it? Okay, good.
And let me tell you, soju, which is a Korean, Korea, but soju is an alcoholic drink.
Oh, I thought that was the name of the city. What was the name of the city you mentioned? The one built by
Suwon. I think that was it. Suwon. Suwon.
Okay.
But soju is a kind of the famous Korean alcohol, and I'm not a big fan, but they have this other stuff called dongdongju, which is made from apples, and it is delicious.
Really?
It is absolutely wonderful. And we had like a punch bowl of it one night, and I ended up singing a lot that night.
I don't think I've ever seen you intoxicated.
Well,
it's like, actually, I show up every accidentally derivative recording.
You've never seen me not intoxicated. Yeah.
Wait,
so that was
Swan,
that was good stuff.
Swansea is Swansea. Swan. Swan. That's like more like central, north central. Maybe I have this wrong. It's kind of shaped like a maple leaf. Maybe it's the Canadian section of.
It is
north of Korea.
What's it called?
You know where I want to go? Well,
maybe.
There's so many spots in China I want to go to.
There are definitely some spots in China that I would like to see as well. Yeah, Samsung Digital Valley in Suwon, Suwon. It's in Gyeonggi.
There is sorry, I'm like, no, I'm just like, because this is the geographic episode of of accidentally derivative. It's the accidental tourist. What is that mountain? There's that mountain range or an area of mountains in China. It's a national park there, and it's it always reminds me of Pandora when I see it.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
One of the scenes from the Apple TV screensaver is there.
Yes, yes. What is that? I don't know what that is, but I want to go there. I actually had this idea. I don't think it's a crazy idea. I think it's a good idea. You ready? You want to hear the idea?
Well, let's hear the not crazy, definitely good idea.
It's like a there's, I forget the word for, there's the savings. It's like a savings club, but this would be like a travel club. Okay. So the idea would be that you'd get a group of people together, like a large enough group that you could accumulate like a good chunk of money in a short period of time without any one person having to put much into it. Okay. So the idea would be you get like a group of people together, and everyone, each individual would contribute, I don't know, $50 or $100 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And, you get enough people. Don't make me do the math. Okay, I'll do the math. Let's say you get enough people. If how many would you have to get to finish? Okay, so you got 400 people. That's a lot of people. So let's say everybody puts in $100. So like you get 200 people to put in $100, and you get 20 grand out of that. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so every, I don't know, 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is, there's a lottery, and somebody's number gets drawn, and that's the person who gets to use the money to go to the place. But collectively, the group votes on where the person's going to go.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, in advance, like everybody
Right.
votes, right? And then yes, but like that's the idea. So you get to live vicariously through that person, and then the deal would be that they have like a little travel log, and they take video, and they write. They kind of take you along with them virtually.
Okay.
But I think that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Wow, a $20,000 trip though. That's pretty extravagant.
Well, some places are. I mean, I don't. What kind of trips do you want to go on? Like, I don't want to be in, like. I don't want to be. I'm not looking for some sort of backpacking, sleeping in like a hostel type.
Well, it's like
situation.
how long of a trip are we talking? Like
We're not
month
20 years
or-
old anymore, dude. Like, what are you?
Well,
What are you thinking?
Speak for yourself? No, but what? Like, are we talking about a month-long type of thing, or?
It depends. I don't know. I haven't thought it through that much. I mean, why are you
Well, I
grilling
don't
me
know.
like this, man? I don't understand.
$20,000. That's a big
Just
trip.
enjoy the
man.
idea. Good Lord.
I have enjoyed that. That's a great idea. No, it is a cool. I like the concept of it. That's great. I didn't know about this. Speaking of big ass trips, they have like cruises that last like 8 months.
Yeah.
I had
Around the world.
no clue. Yeah,
I'm doing one of those one day.
Yeah, that looks.
Let's do that.
Fantastic.
Let's go next month.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it.
I think I have enough time saved up.
It won't matter
to
because
ask
that's
off.
the least of the job part's the least of your concerns. So once you've rated your bank account and you up and leave and don't tell anybody, I think you're gonna.
But it's just like, let's see what happens when I get back in 8 months.
When we leave,
This will be
it
fun.
takes about probably like maybe. Let's think. I'm trying to think in terms of Michelle and Emily figuring it out. Like it would probably
So we haven't taken them.
3
Okay.
days. 2 days? No, but not probably 2 days. It would take 24 hours. I'm giving it 24 hours before they put 2 and 2 together. That something, at least something's happened to both of us.
Ah, right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
They both noticed our absence, but haven't connected the two together
until the
for
next day,
about-
probably when
yeah,
they start
about
putting
2.
like the word out, like, "Hey, has anybody heard from Jason?" And
Hey,
Emily
wait.
saying,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh my goodness, well, did they get together?" And they start looking at our calendars, and they figured like, no, they didn't have anything on their calendar. They weren't in the same place.
There's an all-day event that extends all
And then
through the next
and then,
year.
And then people are like, "Why is he doing that lunch break from Tahiti?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, why is Marcus there?
Mongolia? How did that happen?
Why is the Love Boat in the background?"
Is that Isaac running?
I mean, this has to. I don't mean the runaway
Look.
part, but like the. I mean, just to go away for a month on a cruise ship,
Yeah.
because those are pretty common. And when you look
Yeah.
at the cost per day, it
That's
actually
what I
gets
was about
better.
to say.
So when you look at like the around the world trips, I mean, they sound crazy expensive, but when you drill it down to the cost per day, it's just
Yeah.
like as cheap as living here.
Yeah.
Or as
Housing,
expensive as-
food,
I mean-
entertainment. I mean, it's not that bad.
Basic medical care, you skin your knee, they're going to bandage it for you.
Yeah, they got a whole, infirmary or sick bay or whatever down there. Dr. McCoy will fix you up.
Dr. McCoy. No, McCoy was what?
I know where McCoy was. Wait a minute. No. That was on that space show.
Oh my God.
Who was the doc? What was the doctor on? I guess there was
was
a doctor,
Doc.
right? Well,
They called him Doc. What was his
that's
real
that-
name? I don't
Oh
remember.
wait, he's the guy. He had the glasses.
Yeah. He somehow
okay.
got all the women.
Yeah.
Like he was like a ladies' man, and
Right.
like really, you
right.
look like my dad. Like why? I don't understand. Like how do you?
Well, he's a doctor, so they'd be like, you got the money.
I know, but like how?
I was wondering if Captain Stubing ever did well. Like he
Oh,
was
yeah.
kind of
Oh, it's Captain.
Well, yeah,
Have we
that's
talked
kind
about
of my
this before?
point.
Like we've come full circle.
Well,
I
it came
believe.
out, but I mean, I don't know that we talked about the romantic exploits of
The
Doc and the
inappropriateness of it.
captain.
No, I feel like I'm talking about it with somebody. I'm pretty sure that most of the things that are wrong with me are because of shows like The Love
Love
Boat.
boat.
Well, yeah, like the whole idea that you can not only fall in love in a 3-day trip, but also because they were like these little short princess cruises, these
Right.
California style cruise. We're going to 2 places, and then we're coming back to LA, like LA or Long Beach, and then we're going to leave there. We're going to go to Acapulco. We're going to go to some other place, and then we're going to turn around and come right back.
Right.
And you have like 3 days.
Couldn't really get unpacked good.
3 days to work out all your relationship issues, or to get a divorce,
Yeah, completely destroy your relationship.
or to discover your parents, or like you've got 3 days to figure it out. Like, and it's like so, I mean, misogynistic.
Yeah.
I
It's,
mean,
problematic.
terribly
The
so.
80s.
And
80s television.
it's not.
At least the less we talk about
But it's
movies,
entertaining. I
wacky
mean, I
comedies.
would watch it tonight in a heartbeat if it was on.
Now, was there ever they did this a lot, it seemed like, back in the 80s, a crossover between the show and like another show? It seemed like that happened quite a bit with these shows. I don't remember if Blood Boat was ever part of that.
So they would have,
Did-
okay, well,
did
the
they
big
go
thing
to
was they would
Fantasy
have
Island or
movies,
something
they would
like
have
that?
famous people on from other shows or from other movies that would come on to this show, but they weren't, I don't think they did
They weren't playing their
crossover
character
like
or
in
anything.
character.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It took
It seems
itself
like
too
they're-
seriously to do something like that.
It seems like there was like stuff like that. I mean, they had the things
Well,
where
Facts
like
of
the
Life,
special,
Different Strokes crossover.
Right, Garrett,
sure.
Miss Garrett, and they
Happy
and
Days
see there was a
and
lot
Laverne
of
and Shirley.
that. Yeah, where it wasn't
More
exactly a crossover. It was more like we took this thing that was in this one show and we made a whole show about it. Like Mork and Mindy was in Happy Days as well. Happy Days spawned like a bunch of stuff, didn't it? Like even beyond that.
Joni Loves Chachi.
Well, true. But I don't know if those. It seems like there was at least one
Laverne
other
and Shirley.
show that came out
Laverne and Shirley.
of
Joni Loves Chachi. Mork and Mindy.
yeah,
Karate Kid.
true, because Arnold ended up.
I feel like American Graffiti
Sita.
was also spawned by, or maybe that came first.
I think it was
actually.
the other way around.
It was probably- So Star Wars
yeah. Star Wars
was
came
with
out.
Harrison
Of that.
Ford.
Yeah, the Happy Days verse is pretty big.
Yeah.
And then
Forget Kevin Bacon.
The Harrison Ford thing led into Fugitive. So Fugitive became.
And now and then we're doing around the world fugitive things. So, okay. So when you're walking past Cartagena, whatever that place is called,
Yes.
it smells like onions and it's too strong. Whatever it is too strong. It turns me off.
I'm not sure that
So I
you're
can't eat there.
smelling that.
No, it's
restaurant.
that for sure.
It is definitely that.
Oh, it's
restaurant.
definitely that.
It's not the sprinkles right across the street.
It's definitely not the gluten-free cupcake
really-
place. No,
Really bad with cupcakes.
no. It's not that at all.
No, we're not selling any.
Do you ever look at a
cupcakes. I
place
don't
like that?
understand Why?
You think you think to yourself, that's got to be a front for something else. Like
What, the
there's
cupcake place?
yeah, they've got to have like a. There's got to be a there's like running games in the back
Yeah.
or something because
Going there is a speakeasy.
you see it and you're like, it's never that crowded.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cupcakes, I mean, they're not that expensive.
Yeah. True.
How are you affording
Yeah,
that
how
real
they
estate?
staying open at Disney Springs. Yeah, that's a good point. That can't be cheap.
Just like the eyeglass plate. The plate that's it's like it's
I
not
was
just
thinking about
sunglasses,
that
it's also
eyeglass
regular
place
glass.
last time we were there. Yeah.
Like who decides like, you know what? Oh, you know what I need? A new pair of glasses. Not sunglasses, a new pair of glasses
I tell you the weird thing
while I'm here.
for that. I mean, I even think Lou mentioned it, but the luggage place there.
Oh, Toomey?
Yeah.
Toomey? Oh, I love Toomey luggage.
But it's an odd place to put it, right? It's in a vacation destination.
It's not actually.
Chances are you're there. Is it
No,
not? I
that's
mean,
exactly where you want a luggage place because you're buying this stuff and you realize I can't put any more stuff
Yeah,
in
but
the
you don't
luggage
wanna
that I brought with me.
put a lot of money into the ad hoc luggage that you're taking your overflow in, do you? I mean, that's not what you want to spend your money on.
Well, yeah, because you want to have, if you're buying luggage to put stuff in, you're going to want to have nice luggage when you get back because you're probably going to replace your crappy luggage with the Toomey luggage.
That's possible. Yeah, I'll go with you there.
I'm telling you from experience.
You've done this.
I bought luggage in Las Vegas so that I could put the clothes that I bought Michelle into luggage.
I tell you, the weirdest place though that I see, and
now we live in Florida, and she can't wear it anyway.
Yeah, Baltimore.
No, this is when we lived in San Francisco, and it was like cold. It's like colder weather stuff.
Cold
anyway,
all the time. But when you see these luggage places in airports, I don't understand that at all.
I do.
I mean, because you're buying carry-on, you're buying check luggage past the point where you can give them the luggage. And now what are you going to do with it? You're going to put it in the overhead bin? A freaking full-size suitcase that's empty?
No, you're going to...
Put your bags in that bag in a meta bag? I mean, what...
Because here's the thing. You have luggage that sits in your closet or your garage, wherever you store your luggage, or under your bed, whatever, for a long time. Unless you're traveling on a regular basis.
Right.
You don't touch your luggage that often. When you touch your luggage is when you realize, I really don't like this luggage. But it's too late to do anything about it because you got to pack for tomorrow.
Right, okay.
Right? So you're packing, and then you get to the airport, and you got that bag that the wheel's all funky and broken on, or maybe, or it doesn't. You see all these cool people with the spinner bags, but you've got this two-wheeler dude, and you get all jealous. You get luggage envy, and those places are solutions for luggage envy and luggage remorse.
But you're stuck with a full-size bag past security.
No, I mean, but you can check it at the gate.
The gate will take big full-size luggages?
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they would have to, I suppose, because...
They'll check a small child if you
literally
tag it properly. Yeah. You want us to check that for you? Oh, please.
That gate valet tag on its head. Well, what is this?
But, Papa...
See you on the other side, buddy.
Good luck. You're down there with Sparky.
No,
Sparky's got a seat. No, I'm telling you, I have gone. Okay, so
somehow this doesn't surprise me that you've purchased luggage.
I've wanted to purchase luggage. I've wanted to purchase luggage, and not been able to, because I was all excited. I was like, oh, I know. I'm going to get, I can't even remember the circumstances. I just remember needing the luggage. And then I didn't buy it where I could have bought it because I knew, they sell luggage at that luggage store I walked past in the airport when I flew in. So when I fly out, I think then I'll buy it then. Right.
Uh-huh.
Guess what? I was in the wrong terminal on the way out. I was in a different terminal. So I didn't get to go to the luggage place. So it didn't happen. And I'm trying to remember what the crisis was, why I needed it, but I did.
You needed luggage in the middle of a trip.
I needed luggage for I think to put more stuff in or something. I can't remember exactly why. And maybe I was splitting. Oh, I remember. No, that was a different trip. I don't know. There's been so many.
There's been a lot of trips where you've needed new luggage mid-trip.
It did happen, and there's a time in Vegas when I bought the suitcase. Bought it to me because I
have been in that situation. Yeah,
like I didn't buy enough. I didn't bring enough.
But I always buy something cheap because
that's where you go wrong, my friend.
This was and I do end up with a whole bunch of in fact, my trip to Korea spawned one of those. I have a Korean duffel bag in there. It's like,
and you like it, don't you?
For happy duffeling or whatever on it, and it's just because.
Oh, was it just a cheap duffel bag you bought,
kind of, yeah. I mean, it wasn't.
Have you ever bought nice luggage?
Yeah. But I buy it before a trip.
But is it really nice luggage? Is it like Toomey level?
Well, it's not like I doubt it. I mean, it's whatever Samsonite or.
Yeah, no. You need that's like saying I have an Accord, and that's a nice car.
Well,
it's not a Mercedes.
I guess it's no, it's true. And no more than I use my luggage does me well.
That's fine. Right. I get it. Right. But there's if you travel a lot or even frequently, there's something to be said for having like the right luggage for the right situation. Especially like I like my whole, like my little, like I have my bag that I take everywhere with me. That's also I'll pull it. It's right here. It's a Toomey bag. Okay. It's got this cool little, like, see these little doohickeys? They like aren't. And this, they engraved my name, like on this little, not my name, my initials on this little thing. Forget. It's just this nice little touch, right? And the luggage, the roller thing that I have, the little thing has
what
the
you
same
got
thing.
there, your messenger bag. Now that kind of bag, like I will put a lot more thought and care and money into. I have a, it's actually a Kickstarter, but it was a travel backpack that's a lot more sort of geared towards people like you and I that carry like 75 different electronic devices and all of that stuff. And it's really well made and it's well done, that kind of stuff, because I interact with that bag a lot. Right. And I mean, not so much now because travel isn't a thing as much anymore. But when I was traveling a lot for work, that thing was on my back like for a long time. And so, I will put a lot of effort and sort of scrutiny when I'm trying to decide which model to go with or whatever into that. But what is essentially a glorified box in which I put now I do the packing cube thing. Now that is something that I will do. Do you
vacuum it too? Like.
No, they're like mesh or whatever, so they squish. Yeah. But I did. There have been times when I've used those suction plastic bags or whatever, just because I didn't want to deal with a bigger piece of luggage. I wanted to squish everything down and get a smaller one, and that was literally the only way that was going to happen. The luggage itself, aside from its strength and durability, its ability to withstand forces from without or whatever, other than that aspect of it, I don't see a lot of value in other features, I suppose, of that bag. I mean, I do want the wheels and stuff, because I mean, that as rare as that used to be, it seems like a thing that was pretty obvious the whole time. Like you go back into the 70s and you don't see wheeled luggage much, but you'd think that would have been something people came up with a lot sooner than they did.
Well, they did invent the things that you set the luggage on to wheel around, right? Like the little cart type, the luggage carts. Yeah. I don't mean like the push carts that you could rent. Like, I mean but like kind of
portable kind sort of thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I think then the luggage companies caught on like, we can just put wheels in this thing. However, so number one, at some point I need to find, there's a video I have of Henry when he was just a wee little lad. By the way, I don't think I've ever mentioned that I created a Twitter account for Henry when he was like 6 years old.
Did you?
Maybe younger, called Things Henry Says. It's at Things Henry Says. And I would just, anytime he said something just hilarious or like super wise or whatever, I would just I would tweet it. Ha. Yeah. Anyways, Things
that had to have been pretty close to the origin of Twitter.
It was
so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I had this video. I'll find it and post it if he'll let me. I'll post it to the Accidentally Derivative Facebook page of him describing this thing that he saw on TV. I mean, he is so passionately explaining this thing that he has to have. He must have it. He must have it. And it turns out in the end, what he's describing, because we didn't understand at first, is it's those vacuum pack bag things. You saw it on television. Advertisers like, we gotta have that. There's this thing. Anyway,
they're pretty cool.
If you don't check your bag, do you check your bags a lot?
Only if I have to. Only if I'm going somewhere for a long time and I can't possibly get it into a carry-on. And like anytime I'm almost like we were 2 weeks in Japan and I got it into a carry-on.
Yeah.
Because I got a really cool backpack carry-on that's just like optimal. I mean, it is a straight up rectangle that maximizes every dimension that you can have. And also it leaves room for things like laptop sleeve and things like that in there. perfect friggin' thing. But if I'm going anywhere that's like even going to be a little cold, I guess the size of me makes it to where any kind of thickness to like a sweatshirt or a sweater or something like that is going to put me way over the limit, and that's the only time I'll check a bag, but not much.
I almost always do carry on only, and for me, that's why it's important to have a nice bag because number one, like the nicer bags they just wear better, and you're kind of beating the heck out of a carry-on bag too. Like it
does get, that's like some punishment.
And it usually has like you spend a little money, you get the extra little features, like the little compartments and sleeves. And it's just easier to get in and out of, which is important sometimes. A little like spot to keep your passport, but it's zipped away and stuff. Anyway. And then,
see, all of that is my backpack. That stuff is taken care of.
But you don't want to carry this thing on your back. I mean, you know how many miles you put on like walking around airports and stuff. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's just that junk is in my bag, and my clothes and all that stuff is in the carry-on.
The carry-on's got and it needs to look nice.
Well,
because people are going to judge you by your carry-on bag.
Well, they're already doing that because I'm wearing a weird shirt.
There's two ways, but you're going to get upgraded better. You're more likely to get upgraded if you have a serious-looking carry-on bag and you're wearing a sports jacket. Right? If you don't wear a tie. If you're wearing a tie, you're trying too hard. I don't know. Right. Exactly.
Oh, they can't see through that.
If you're wearing a sports jacket and you have a nice bag, they treat you like royalty.
And if you wear the pilot uniform, that's
you like Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, Frank Abagnale. Yeah.
Of course, you remember the name of the actual guy.
I don't know why. I think it's because the last name is so fun to say.
You're like, like Frank Robert. Sure. Can't remember the doc's name, but you remember that guy.
Well, apparently his name is Doc.
Anyway.
That's your name and your profession.
I haven't gone to that restaurant, and I don't think I'm not like, it's just not on my list to do it.
Fair enough.
But I did tell you this thing I was going to talk, and I told Michelle, I threatened her. I was like, I'm talking about this. And she said, don't do that. You're going to embarrass me. I don't care. You're
going to embarrass her?
The truth needs to be out there.
Uh-oh.
So what night were you at Disney Springs?
I was there Sunday.
Okay, this was Saturday, so you couldn't have saved her anyway. Oh. She spent the weekend with her friends, and I'm putting friends in air quotes. She was with them. I think it was like, and they were supposed to do the whole run weekend things. This was supposed to be a marathon weekend.
Right,
and so
right. This was going to be Food and Wine or whatever, or
sure,
Wine and Dine.
I actually eat during Food and Wine. I don't run unless someone's chasing me. But they stayed at the boardwalk, and they were getting together with stuff. They got some other, it's like a small group of people where they were like just spending the weekend together. Well, they went to Disney Springs for dinner on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And Michelle texts me. I don't know, at some point I say, where did you go to dinner? And she says, Chicken Guy.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's kind of like if you text Emily and said, where did you and your friends go to dinner? And she said, the steakhouse.
Oh, like
you would think you would say, really? Like what?
This is uncharacteristic of Michelle.
Well, she's allergic to chicken.
Is she? I did not know that.
Well, you don't know that, but you know who does know that?
Michelle.
And her friends know that. And I said,
whatever did she eat?
What? So one of her friends, who was a very nice person, but I'm not going to name her, but she's a very nice person. She asked her, she says, well, what are you going to eat?
Yeah. I mean,
I said to Michelle,
the name of the place.
If someone has to ask you, like, well, what are you going to eat? That's when you say, maybe we should go somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm going to eat elsewhere.
So she had a salad with no chicken in it. It's basically
Lord
the
have
only
mercy.
thing you can get at Chicken Guy. That and sauces.
Ice water.
Because they have the guys, I know they probably don't do it anymore because of COVID, but they had the guys who like carried around like sauce holsters. You know, they were like, they would
right. I did.
they would dispense the sauce from their.
I
belt.
still have yet to eat at the Chicken Guy.
Oh, it's not bad.
I didn't even know until the
If you
other
eat
day
chicken,
that
it's pretty good.
The reason its name is Chicken Guy is because it's Guy Fieri's restaurant. I will not say Fieri. Fieri. It's an R in his name. We're all in the United States. It's Guy Fieri.
I've never heard it the other way. So
Guy Fieri. No.
Okay.
Stop that.
Okay.
Stop
Anyway,
that.
Chicken Guy, it's delicious if you can eat chicken, or if you want to eat chicken, it's fine. So they went there, and I said, "Well, why? Why didn't you go? Why did you go there?" She's like, "Well, we were meeting there. There's another couple that we were meeting there." So what? That's when you say the other couple, like, "Hey, how about we go somewhere else because she doesn't eat chicken."
Place.
Remember when I told you she's content?
Yes. So she was
She was like, "It's fine." She was like, "It's fine." She wasn't complaining to me at all.
Right.
I was complaining for
She was
her.
okay.
I was outraged
That's
on her
cool.
behalf.
Well, no, that's a pretty cool Zen attitude to have, It does seem like it's a little... it's wasting an opportunity. You're at Disney Springs for a meal. You've chosen... Or somebody has chosen...
Somebody chose chicken guy, and then when they say, hey, let's go to Chicken Guy.
Not that they have a lot of chicken there. It is a chicken place.
That's all they have.
Chicken is the genre of restaurant.
That's it. It's not even like KFC. You go to KFC, you can get mashed potatoes and gravy that's not chicken gravy.
Right.
You can get
but here it'd be chicken potatoes,
coleslaw,
chicken gravy, chicken slaw.
You can't, they don't have it. This they have salad, but then you can have them leave the chicken off.
Chicken is in it.
Yeah. So she endured that, and she was fine. She was fine. She was like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. She was not complaining at all. And I'm like, why are you not outraged?
You're ready to
kind of like with friends like that, who needs enemies? That's what I say.
Right.
It's like, no, they're gonna hate me. They're really lovely people, but
they're trying to poison your wife.
I'll never let them live this down ever. I'm gonna find, as soon as I find one thing that they're either allergic to or have an aversion to, man, I'm gonna be like, that's what we're gonna have.
Silly ecstasy, did you say? Let's go to the bakery.
And I don't mean sprinkles. I don't care if you want to play a card game. Yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to point out the humor of just getting a text from you that just says "Chicken Guy," and it's like you didn't like put an emoji or anything with it, but I could tell it was an angry text. Somehow I was able to discern your tone through just those two words.
Yeah, I was not happy. I mean, but I don't know why. It didn't affect me at all.
Yeah, we talk about that.
It didn't affect me at all. But that's how I felt. Did you find the name of the mountains?
Oh no, I did not.
You gave up on it. I thought.
Well, you started talking about chickens.
I was waxing poetic about Toomey luggage, and you were supposed to be looking up the mountains, and now, it's the Apple TV screensaver, right?
It looks like Zhangjiaji National Forest Park in China.
Oh, you found it?
Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G, Jiaji, Jiajie, National Forest. Or
in Hunan.
yeah, that's the one. All right,
Oh yeah.
or I don't know now. Is it that one or is it the one? Oh, wait a minute. Wuling Guan
Oh, that's where they have a glass
is
bridge.
what you're looking for.
Oh, it is.
Wuling Yuan.
Yeah,
this is the
Wuling,
one. Yeah, this is the
scenic story. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the
It is the
Pandora
Zhangjiaji.
looking place. Is it the same place? I mean, I don't know.
It is the same place practically.
Because I got two different things
I don't
showed
know.
up.
They're both
and
beautiful, so I'll take either one.
Yeah. Hey.
yeah, I want to go there. So that would be on the list. I think I'd be rooting for that in the group of however many people we have.
Absolutely, yeah. That place is cool looking.
Right? So I think you'd need some coin to get there. And I mean, you're not just going to go to that one
I would think
place.
so. Yeah, true.
And you're going to need a guide of some sort. I mean,
usually a good idea.
if you're doing, you could send one person on an Adventures by Disney, maybe.
20,000 would just about cover it.
I mean, depending on where you're going. They actually have some surprisingly affordable, and I use that.
Yeah, the
term.
one that goes to Tampa is real cheap.
No. the one to Vietnam.
Oh yeah,
Is actually I mean, considering
that'd be neat.
Yeah, all things considered, I think it was. I really don't remember like for sure, but I think it was like $7,000 or something like that.
Oh wow, that's not bad at all.
Well, yeah, considering everything that you get. I mean, it doesn't include airfare, so that's there's that.
Yeah, that's what you always have to remember is that.
But in terms of
So
like, I mean, there's some places like, I mean, and I'm sure it's lovely. So I'm sure it's we're planning to do the ABD to Italy next year.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, we're doing it kind of as an anniversary gift to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Purely, I mean, like we could go to Italy without doing ABD, right? You could go to London without doing an ABD. I mean, there's lots of places you can go and you'll be fine without, right? Vietnam, not a place I would try to go on my own at this point in my life.
You want it to be a sort of a coordinated thing with other people.
I want to sleep in a bed. And I want it to be safe.
That's usually a good thing.
And have AC.
Yeah.
Ideally. Or mostly be safe. I'll give up AC for safety. Like if it's safe, then I'll.
As long as it's cool, I don't mind if things are.
I can take things off.
People, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, and when Lou took the group over to Japan, everything they sort of when he would report and post and stuff like that, it all looked like great stuff. They were doing fun things and all of that.
I mean,
weird.
You have to go somewhere with Lou. I mean, there's that.
Yeah, there's that. It's ups and downs.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing ever is that Emily and I went to Japan. Like we got back 2 weeks before Lou's group left.
Yeah.
We
So you came right back after the storm. You were ahead of the storm.
We were there.
You were leaving ahead of the storm.
Right. We arrived, and the storm hit the night we arrived.
Oh wait, so you were there. Wait a second.
So I may have been there closer to
because they arrived
weeks.
like a couple days after the storm had been there.
Yeah,
so you were there
it
at the
went
same time.
through Tokyo the night that we got into the
We're talking about the typhoon. I don't remember the name of the typhoon.
Yeah, I don't either. But yeah, and then it hit, and then the next morning, the couple that we were traveling with arrived, and they were stuck at Narita Airport for like 10 hours waiting on transportation into Tokyo because they shut down the highways going out there. Because like one of the things that one of the people was talking to us about over there was that they take safety really, really seriously, and almost to the point of absurdity. And like if they won't like shut down the highway or bring it down to like one lane or whatever, if they think something's wrong with it, they shut the thing completely down and they check everything, and they don't open it up again until they're absolutely perfectly 100% sure that it's ready to go. And
what are they
so
checking?
The highway that goes out to the airport.
What's wrong with?
Well, the storm had caused damage.
Oh, okay. I was like I'm trying to imagine what was wrong.
And it's not, mostly superficial damage. Like they didn't find any structural problems. But the thing is that's like the only way out there. And the trains were down too, which was unprecedented because those trains, they're legendary for their efficiency. So the trains were down. The highway was down pretty much. The airport was its own little island out there. And you could get there through surface streets, but like taxis didn't want to go out there because they're like, that's going to take ages to get there and get back, and I'm not into that.
Plenty of time to buy luggage.
Yeah, good time. Good time to buy that luggage, and then you can ride the luggage all the way into town. But
if you're going to find motorized luggage anywhere,
yeah,
it's going to be in Japan.
Yeah, it'll be Japan, definitely. But I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, we after they got in though, everything was cool and everything went off without a hitch, and we took a taiko drumming lesson in I believe it was in Kyoto, and we learned from this dude. And he was awesome. He was fantastic, this guy. And we learned a routine. And then I saw Lou posted, they took a taiko drumming lesson as well. And he posted a video of it. And it's the same guy teaching them was the one teaching us. And they learned the exact same routine. And it was like, there's one guy in Japan that does this.
It's just his name's Taiko too, probably.
Yeah, he invented the drums. But no, I mean, it was the weirdest thing ever. Is this one dude, is apparently shouldering a serious taiko drumming teaching burden over
to a lot of Americans.
Yeah, it's like, you guys want to come and clumsily beat on a drum?
I saw the pictures too, and the people are like serious, like.
What? I mean, yeah, it's like when you learn that, it's in like a dojo.
Stand like that, you're gonna hurt yourself.
So
because they're like kind of squatting. It's like
there's a whole form to it.
Could you raise this drum up a little bit for me, maybe? Like,
can you stand in here? Maybe put a snare under the bottom, just and a kick drum.
How about a longer stick?
I want to hit it from across the room.
Like something. Do you have any tambourines?
They don't call them tambourines. They're called something else.
Sure.
And then you have to hit them really hard and be very, very aggressive about it.
Wow.
But it's pretty neat. All that to say that Lou's group and us both, taiko, same guy.
But you didn't do the ABD, you're saying you did.
No. We did,
you did the MBD. No, ABM.
ABM. Yeah,
ABM.
That's me.
Well, that's fun. So I think I would do an ABD for a place like that, or maybe to Egypt, or if I went to India again, I would do something like that there. Although I think once you figure out how to hire a trustworthy guide,
that's the key though, right?
Then you mean the trustworthy part?
Yeah.
but once you figure out who that person is, either through your own network or through an experience, like you've been on an ABD and you were introduced to these people and then you got their information and then you go back kind of thing. I think once you have that information, then you can, I think more, at least in my head, I can more easily, comfortably go to those places again or for the first time and feel like, okay, I got somebody to show me around and do stuff and probably save some money as well. But ABDs, I think if for people who just want to show up and have things taken care of and go to some cool
coordinated
places
for them, because that's the other sort of issue, right? Is like, well, I know that there's a lot to do, but it's kind of like what we were talking about a few weeks ago. It's that paralysis of choice, right? It's like, I don't know what's the thing? What's the thing you do? What's the not? You can't miss this. I mean, I can spend all day doing this thing, and people will be like, I come home and you went to Japan and you didn't do the thing, you didn't do this thing, you didn't do that thing. You only did what was that? You did 3 ramen tastings. That's a little weird. But yeah, I mean, it's you got to have somebody that knows, the good things to do or whatever. Sometimes that's not as obvious or easy as it sounds.
Especially in some places.
Yeah. Yeah,
For
I
sure.
don't know what definitely, aside from going to see the pyramids, what does one do in Egypt? What is the
duck
thing?
and cover?
You duck and you cover.
No, I mean, it seems like Egypt's a place where as an
a lot
American,
of nuclear weapon drills going on over there.
It's like it's not always a safe place to be.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I would love to go.
I'm thinking of Yertle the turtle over here.
I'd love to travel. There's a lot of places I'd like to go, but I also am scared. In some places, legitimately, I mean, I don't know. So we'll go on a cruise.
Yeah, cruise. That's nice and safe. Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to get off the boat.
COVID now.
Wash your hands. You wash your hands.
It's a vacation right there.
Don't touch people. And
nice
sit on
and
your
relaxing.
balcony and watch the water. Look, you can have a good time. I'm telling you, you can. Maybe this is just me. This is why Michelle and I we can never just cruise alone, ever. Because we've done that one time.
Yeah.
It was just a 3-day Princess Cruise, like the Love Boat.
Yeah.
We're just built differently. Like she's not only does she enjoy the pool, she's like built for the pool. Me, I'm not built for the pool. Like no one wants to see me at the pool. I can be around the pool. I could be at the little pool bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be like laughing and carrying on, but you don't want to see me in the pool or at the pool. Like you just don't want that. Plus, I have 2 modes on a cruise ship. The one is like the, hey, let's have a good time kind of mode, like not drunken foolishness, but like, let's I like to have a good laugh and meet some people and stuff, right? And then I have the leave me the heck alone mode.
Yeah.
Like I don't want you to even see that. You see me? I'm supposed to be invisible.
Right.
Like just leave me alone. Unless you're getting me a drink.
Don't see the bucket on my head.
Leave me alone, right? Unless your name's Isaac, leave me alone.
And you've sprinted over here with a Mai Tai.
Those are my 2 modes. I don't have like there's no other. Like,
I get that. Yeah.
You know? And Michelle, like I don't know, like she just like wants to chat and talk. It's like when we go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to sit there and either stare out at the water or read a book, and like in the surf, just sit there, on the beach and your feet getting wet and like just hanging out. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Decompress.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. No, I don't want to. Like, I just want to be left alone. And so that's why you have to go with a couple or other people so that they can kind of have their experience. And then,
going with other people is better on a cruise. For sure.
I think travel in general, probably
so. Yeah,
not too many people.
No, and that's what's always kind of made me a little trepidatious about, like, say, the ABD thing with Lou. Like, I would enjoy going with Lou and with Becky and with Lisa and with all these people that I really like.
You say that, then there's like you 30, haven't done it.
There's 36 other people that I've never seen before, and we're all in the bus together, and so I'm like, I don't know.
So now you're making me regret.
That is not something I was intentionally doing, but I mean, it's and I'm sure they're all great people. Don't get me wrong. It's just the number of the people. I don't want 35 Steve Martins, in my bus with me.
That sounds amazing.
I would have one. One Steve Martin is awesome. 5 Steve Martins would be great. 35 of them starts to become one too many. Yeah, so we hit the. It's a kind of a.
It's like the Korean barbecue sides.
Like, at what point do you hit that? Do you hit the level?
34 is fine. 35 is one too many.
Yeah, okay. We're over the limit here, but. But yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that travel is especially with somebody like-minded. Like you and I are, we don't think a lot alike on many travel subjects. Like how much light needs to be in the room. But
I mean, you're not averse to darkness.
But
it's not like anyone's ever going to say, "I'm sorry, but it's too dark in here for me to sleep." No one's ever said that.
I don't. Yeah, I have been in a place where it has been absolutely black as pitch, and I found that to be utterly disturbing.
God, why? You're sleeping, right? Like,
not
you weren't like thrown in a prison.
Well,
that was.
I was in an oubliette Papillon. That was about me. But no, the where was it? Like camping or something, and it was just ridiculous. ridiculously dark, and I don't know,
The
something
stars?
about that
Yeah,
was
the
just.
stars.
I don't remember why it was this dark. I think maybe it was.
Were you in a
overcast or
cave? Was
something.
this like cave camping?
No, it wasn't cave camping. Oh,
Is that a thing?
that might be. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Spelunking. But yeah, it's just I find complete and utter pitch darkness to be a little, I don't know. I'm not a claustrophobic person, and we've discussed that before. But that does bring about some seriously like uncomfortable things that make it to where I can't sleep just because I'm disturbed.
I'll bring my
by
sleep mask with
the
me. It'll be
darkness.
fine. You can have your little nightlight on if you must.
But no, like you're
fine. No, don't worry about me. Well, yeah, we can have chicken too.
I want to do like fun stuff, but then I also want to be by myself reading my book and watching the water and stuff like that. You know, I totally get the two modes. And yeah, I think that, you know, I think we see eye to eye enough that I think a trip with us would be a really cool thing.
Yeah, or just us, and we just go around the world on a cruise.
Right, and we don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And we, you know, take out a life insurance policy on ourselves. And then
No, see, now
fake
you're
our own death.
See, before there was just an ethical or moral issue, right? Now you're talking about criminal, and I don't want to like. No, there's no fraud going to happen. We're just leaving legally. You're just being
right
irresponsible.
about to do a around the world tour. I can't think of a better time to do that.
I don't want to be imprisoned when I get back. I don't want to. You know what kind of anxiety I'd have? I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself.
You know, when you're
You'd be like,
on,
dude,
the,
you've got 7 months before prison. Don't worry about it. I'm like, that's all I can think about.
you know, when you're on like
Soap on a
Splash
rope.
Mountain and it's like there's no crowds or whatever, and they come through and you do the finger thing and they let you go again. That's what we do when we come back from the around the world tour. Just like, nah, I'm not going around again.
Of all the
not getting
attractions,
off.
who does? Oh, let's go again on Splash Mountain. Who?
I don't know. I was trying to think of one that were.
I mean, I'll go like the TTC, the People Mover for sure.
Yeah.
But I've never. I think it's too popular. I don't think they'll.
Maybe.
I don't think you get one of those.
Yeah. It probably when it just opened. You know.
I think the teacups you might be able to score a little.
Well, you're actually doing that on the teacups.
They're like, wait, are you saying you want to go again?
Yeah,
or are you still?
You can just do this.
Are you still?
And you're technically. He's like, well, he did the finger. Well, no, he was just holding it up, but he was
the
going
wrong
like that.
finger. Kick him out of the park. Well, now I need some Frontera Cucina. What's it? Frontera Cucina. I should try it because I feel like I probably am giving it I really shouldn't judge
I think you'd like
a book
it
by
if you
its
went.
smell.
Yeah, well, sometimes you don't want to read a smelly book. But
Scratch and sniff.
Sometimes you do. But
I just had an almond joy the other day at like a little like snack size, and I thought to myself, you know, this is delicious. And I don't know what the heck Marcus is thinking. And the nice thing about an almond joy is that if you just take the first bite without hitting the almond, you've had a Mounds bar. You get two. You get two. And even in a snack size.
That's the key, man.
Yes.
That's the pro tip right there.
I think we probably should go to Frontera Cucina. And we should do that together.
Sure. Absolutely. Damn it.
Because I feel like I owe them an apology now. Because I like totally, like I have no reason. I feel bad for them now. I went to the website and there's this big pop up that says Frontera Cucina is open to guests at this time. Like, look, I'm coming. I'm gonna come. It's okay. You don't
like, come on.
I know. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna go there.
And it's
it
like
Mexican.
a famous dude who is not Mexican.
Chef Rick Bayless.
Yeah. Clearly he's from Oaxaca. But yeah, it's still pretty good though, even though the guy himself is not.
It was good.
Yeah. And we've been a few times. That's one of Emily's favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God! Don't let her listen to this episode.
Well, too late. She hates you now.
Wow.
That didn't take long.
She read everything. No. I think the one thing you can honestly say about me is that I am not an acquired taste. Like you either
You know
instantly. It's like it's like
Well,
cheese.
yeah.
It's like it's like really stinky, like heavy cheese. Like you either like, oh, yeah, this is good, or no, not for me.
Not for me. I'm allergic.
Jason can have the Limburger of personalities. That's great.
You know, Jason, what is he like? Oh, you know those really stinky cheeses?
Stinky but delicious. I think you need to finish the sentence. Stinky but delicious.
Then you should probably meet him. What's your opinion of stinky cheese? Oh my God! Then yeah, you probably don't want to get around him.
I mean, he ain't a multi biscuit. I can't even drink this like now because it's made from black tea.
Like a really bad game that we played in college.
Multi biscuit.
You'll be the last one to finish your milkshake.
I gotta. I think that's it. Oh.